I've found that moss agate is similar to the dendritic agate, but it has a very, very soft energy, whereas the dendritic agate is a little bit more forceful and powerful because of that manganese. Similarly, tree agate will work very well. Amazonite is a great stone to connect you with nature. Atlanticite, some of you are familiar with. It's a combination of green serpentine and purple stitchitite. It's known as Atlanticite. That's a fantastic stone to use for earth healing, as well as connecting you to ancient energy. Bamboo stone, which is actually a form of brecciated jasper that often comes out of China. It's commonly seen in some inexpensive jewelry, but you can find tumbled stones of the bamboo stone, and that's a great one. Mochi stones. Mochi stones have a very strong connection with earth energy and can be used very easily. I generally place the female stone, which is the smoother stone, into my receiving hand, and the male stone, which is the rougher stone, in my sending hand, and I'll just focus on creating a connection with the earth and exchanging energy with each breath that I take, similar to what we just did in the earth healing meditation, but a little bit less involved, and Mochi stones are great for that. Bud stone is excellent. It's also sometimes called African jade. Green calcite is another stone that's lovely. You know, I do want to say a little bit about green calcite here. I have a great piece here, and most calcite is acid washed when it's rough, so if it sort of feels a little waxy or smooth, it's usually been dipped in a light acid bath, and what that does is just remove sort of some of the sharper edges. But green calcite really, again, helps you to remain positive about your connection with nature. So if you have, you know, again, past trauma or a negative experience associated with the natural world, green calcite can help you work through that. Some other crystals that work well for this nature connection are Epidote, and we talked a little bit about the prehnite. Well, a lot of times if you have a tumbled piece of prehnite, you'll find that it actually has Epidote crystal inclusions, and that's a great earth healing stone, especially that combination. Fossil coral, again, we talked about really any fossils will work well, but fossil coral really helps send healing energy to our lakes and oceans and bodies of water, so that's an excellent stone to have. Gaius Stone. Now, we talked about Gaius Stone is also a secondary name for chrysocolla, but in this instance I do mean the Gaius Stone that's the green obsidian, and that's made from heating the ash of the Mount St. Helens eruption. And it's a beautiful stone to work with. Some people don't like it because it's not completely natural. I consider it to be sort of man-encouraged because there isn't anything foreign injected into the stone. It's not combined with a plastic. It's not simply a completely a man-made glass. It's just taking that ash from the Mount St. Helens eruption and heating it until it fuses together into a natural glass. So that Gaius Stone is fantastic for working with the earth energy. Green demon Toid Garnet is another that works well. It can be a little bit challenging to find sometimes, as well as green Uvarovite Garnet. And Uvarovite Garnet, some of the best comes from Russia, so that's an excellent stone. And it doesn't come in large crystals like other garnets. It's actually a very small crystal druze that's usually found on a matrix. Gaspiite is another stone that some of you may be familiar with. It's sort of a bright lime green, and one thing I will say about the gaspiite is it's often stabilized similar to turquoise, so just know ahead of time what you're purchasing and buy from a reputable dealer. Infinite is a great stone. It's a type of serpentine that actually comes from South Africa, and it was trademarked by a man out of Chicago, Illinois. It has a really great energy to it, and it's also known as the healer's stone. It's actually thought to help heal the healers. So for those of you out there who are listening, that very well might apply to you. Dalmatian Jasper, which is technically actually a dacite, it's a Dalmatian dacite, that stone works very well to connect you with the animal realm of Earth. So if you want to send healing to the animal kingdom, Dalmatian dacite Jasper is a great stone to use. Rainforest Jasper, if you'd like to send healing energy to the plant kingdom, especially with all of the destruction that we're seeing with our rainforests. Rainforest Jasper is a great stone to use to send distant healing energy to those areas that need it most. Similarly, jet also connects you with the plant kingdom. Magnetite works very well for earth healing because there's actually magnetite crystals found within your brain as well as at the different poles on the earth, the opposite poles of the earth. So you actually get this really interesting connection to the earth through the magnetite crystal. Mimetite is another stone that works very well for helping you just relax and feel comfortable in nature if that's something that you have a hard time with. Mochi Marbles also work. They're also known as shaman stones, so there's sort of an instant connection with the natural realm there. Green nephrite jade works very well, especially the nephrite jade that comes from Canada, which is sometimes called BC jade. Prasiolite, which is actually a green amethyst. It's called green amethyst. It's actually a very, very pale green member of the quartz family. It's prasiolite, and that's a beautiful stone to work with, a very gentle, nurturing energy, similar to that of the green apophyllite. And the prasiolite is a little bit more difficult to find unless you're looking in jewelry. It's often used in jewelry. Pyromorphite, generally this comes from China. It's sort of an apple green color, and it almost reminds me of moss. So again, that connection with the fairy realm and with very, very delicate aspects of nature. Pyromorphite is also known to help counteract the effect of toxins in your environment. So that may be a good stone for some of you to try. Chlorite included quartz, so this is quartz with chlorite mineral in it. This is great for helping you to overcome toxicity again in your environment, but also connecting you with nature in a very physical way. So, you know, sometimes you just feel like you need to feel the earth under your feet and walk in the grass a little bit. Chlorite is a great stone to motivate you to go do that and really take the time for yourself, which some of us don't always do. Rainbow aura quartz, I've also found, has this great connection to the different members of the plant kingdom and animal kingdom and mineral kingdom, so that rainbow aura quartz, definitely one to try. Seraphos, which is a type of green quartz that comes from the island of Seraphos off the coast of the mainland of Greece, is an excellent stone to use for a very real connection with nature. You know, appreciating that as much as it is beautiful, there are also very violent and destructive forces in nature, and helping you find balance within the natural world. Green tourmaline is excellent. Again, it's a very protective stone, so it helps you feel comfortable, but it also really raises your energetic vibration, so you'll find that you really can attract nature spirits into your field if that's something you're interested in. And unakite, which has always sort of reminded me of the earth. It has that combination of green and pink that correspond to our heart chakra, and really allows us to feel compassion for all of the beings in the earth, and allows us to tap into a sense of oneness. The unakite is actually really interesting because it looks like a jasper, but what it is green epidote and salmon or peach colored feldspar mixed together. So again, you're pulling in that epidote for the earth healing energy, and then you get this compassion and love energy from the peach feldspar. So it's a really great combination stone to use. Sometimes it does have gray too, actually I should mention that, and the gray is usually quartzite that you find sort of modeled in, because technically since there's more than one mineral in the unakite, it's technically considered a rock. So sometimes you find these veins of quartz or quartzite mixed in with the epidote and feldspar as well, and that creates sort of the gray color. And you'll see that the feldspar will really range from sort of a light peach, pale peach, almost to a red. And the same with the epidote, it can really range from a very, very pale green to a very deep green. So it just sort of depends on the locality and where it's from.